Everything seems set in stone for Bitcoin, the traditional market, and the rest of the crypto ecosystem. In this video, we're going to explain what smart money is up to right now. We're at a unique moment in time. Just 2 days ago, Donald Trump was sworn in as the new president of the United States. And from day one, especially the day after he's already rolled out a new set of measures that are clearly going to have a significant impact, not only on traditional markets, but by extension on the crypto market as well. If we look back at previous videos, such as those from 2017 during Trump's earlier presidency, the American stock market showed an above-average annual return in the SHIB 500, which currently sits at around 10%. This doesn't mean past events will repeat in the same way in the future, but it does give us insight into the type of policies this president tends to prioritize and the results they achieved for equity markets. Years ago, when it comes to the crypto ecosystem and Trump, I think we can all agree on one thing: the fact that a sitting president, especially the president of the United States, launched his own token is historic. It's unprecedented, and regardless of what happens with that token, it does carry a certain significance. At the very least, it seems to signal an intention, at least initially and subject to change, that Donald Trump may be friendly toward cryptocurrencies. This could have a direct, though not necessarily immediate, impact on the crypto market. That's exactly what this video is about: understanding the macro context, not only of the traditional market, although that's crucial too, but also what's happening with Bitcoin. Where is it coming from? Where might it be headed? And what levels should we consider critical to determine if this bullish trend in the crypto ecosystem is still intact? As you know, just 2 days ago, we welcomed a new president who, from this perspective, appears to be pro-crypto. So let's explore how likely it is that this specific scenario continues. Believe me, it's not as straightforward as it seems. Simplicity is essential, of course, but sometimes what seems obvious can take unexpected turns. But let me give you a preview. From our point of view, this won't be one of those cases. At least that's what we think. Let's take a look at the SHIB 500, the benchmark American index. As you can see, we're practically at all-time highs. We've been watching this entire rise in the SHIB 500 as part of a complex corrective pattern. The final phase highlighted here in a circle is indeterminate, meaning it can last and rise for as long as it wants. However, what we can do is measure when this rise might be at risk. Since the traditional market has a strong correlation with Bitcoin and the crypto ecosystem, understanding the SHIB 500 becomes a key part of the equation. Looking at the chart, we see a very subtle breakout from an ascending wedge, which seems to have been a trap. As you can see, this aligns with the trajectory of what could be a Z structure. To make it simple for those who are new, let's break it down. As long as this structure, influenced by institutional activity, remains intact, we should continue prioritizing a positive sentiment. I'll skip the heavy technical details and focus on what likely matters most to you. Now, we see the SHIB 500 approaching a critical defense zone. This zone is essential for assessing whether there's a potential for breaking a structure that could lead to bearish movement. If the SHIB 500 manages to break above this defense zone in the future, we'd be looking at a move toward new all-time highs. In the short term, there wouldn't be any bearish signals, allowing us to align with the SHIB 500 positive trend. For that to happen, we'd first need to see an aggressive breakout above this defense zone. If that occurs, it would essentially pave the way for a bullish rally in the SHIB 500 and the broader traditional market. If we analyze the Nasdaq, we see a very similar scenario. We've been closely monitoring its structure, and there was a fascinating trap recently, very significant, I should add. Now, like the SHIB 500, the Nasdaq is challenging what we could call the final frontier. Should we witness an aggressive breakout of this level, not only would it point to a new all-time high, but it would confirm that the Nasdaq's bullish momentum, already positive, would continue. Now, let's take a look at the connection between the traditional market and cryptocurrencies, which, in this case, is MicroStrategy. What we're seeing here is quite similar to what happened with the Nasdaq. We have a key structure that's been tested multiple times, followed by a very significant trap. This trap was eventually reclaimed, and what we're observing now is a compression against a key structure that is currently being broken. To make this clearer, I'll show it to you in a lower time frame, as it's much easier to see and understand that way. The focus here is on this trap and the eventual compression against a critical structure. It's important to understand that large institutions often compress prices against significant levels before making an aggressive move, in this case, likely in the opposite direction. What's especially catching our attention here is that this structural breakout was achieved with a gap. This demonstrates clear intent that we should pay close attention to. This breakout has already been tested and is now beginning to move slightly away from the creek. Of course, this doesn't mean everything is guaranteed, but if the price can hold above this structure and avoid falling back below it, we should at least consider the possibility of an upward move toward its defense zone. And in a scenario where the defense zone is broken, just like we've discussed with the SHIB 500 and the Nasdaq, we could then anticipate an aggressive breakout, a continuation, and a strong bullish rally for MicroStrategy. And by extension, this would likely benefit Bitcoin and the broader crypto ecosystem. Now, if you're here for our crypto market analysis, you'll definitely be interested in what we have to say about Bitcoin. We'll dive into that in just a moment, but first...
Welcome to Crypto Insight, your ethical and moral channel for cryptocurrency technical analysis. Here, we really know what we're talking about. We conduct advanced technical analysis that has been developed for over 12 years. We upload videos several times a week. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, let me know and leave a comment with your opinion. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so you don't miss the next opportunity.
But before we get to Bitcoin, let's talk about Ethereum, which we also consider a key player. Are you looking at its 4-hour time frame now? Take a look at this critical defense zone we've identified here. It tells us that institutions that entered long positions down here are aggressively defending their stance at this level. This leads us to believe we can maintain a positive outlook for this price action. As I mentioned earlier, institutions love compressing price against significant structures, like the one you see right here below. Now, if we zoom in a bit, you'll notice this upward excursion was quite tricky. Events like these often suggest that a future breakout could be more genuine and potentially aggressive. In previous videos, we analyzed the volume of bearish attacks where we saw clear absorption. Remember how we anticipated this climactic bearish action before it happened? And sure enough, it arrived with high volume and a delta directed toward the bid, which was clearly absorbed. Afterward, at a very key point, one we know institutional algorithms tend to respect when working within a hypothesis. In this case, a bullish one, they indeed respected it. This gives that level added value and significance. All of this points to the idea that the positive bullish narrative for the crypto market should persist. Of course, this isn't a free buffet where only one scenario is possible. That's why, in this long-term analysis, we'll explain the structures and levels we consider essential for maintaining this positive outlook. This will help us analyze the price action of BNB and, of course, Bitcoin. And we'll dive into that right now. But first, I want to introduce you to our private Telegram channel, which is completely free. In this channel, we host live streams daily. In fact, at the time of recording this video, we're also live streaming for the community. During these live sessions, we look for trading opportunities in the futures market. We focus on intraday trades, and within this community, members also share their operational ideas, what they're working on and what they're looking for in the markets at any given moment. It's honestly very interesting. This community is constantly learning and improving. So if you're an active trader and tired of trading alone, you can join our community. Signing up is very simple. The requirements are as follows. You need to be a user of BitUnix or BuyDFI, have deposited cryptocurrencies into your BitUnix or BuyDFI accounts with a minimum value of $100, and use this account as your primary futures trading account. In other words, you need to be actively trading. Once you've met these requirements, simply fill out the form displayed on the screen. It consists of just 5 simple questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Don't miss this unique opportunity to become part of our exclusive Crypto Insight Premium community. Come join us, we're waiting for you. When it comes to Ethereum, where is that danger zone that could make us less optimistic about the crypto ecosystem? Well, if you look at my chart, you'll notice a key defense zone around the $3,000 mark. As long as this structure holds, we can remain positive. However, if we see that this defense zone is lost, it's very likely that the mid and long-term outlook will turn negative. That said, here at Crypto Insight, we're not prioritizing that scenario. We remain optimistic. Now, let's shift our focus to BNB. Looking at the daily chart and taking a long-term perspective, I can tell you that we can maintain a positive outlook for crypto in general, as long as we don't swag swan event breaking this structure. As long as the price doesn't show us a sharp and aggressive move against the structure, like the one I've illustrated here, we'll continue prioritizing a bullish direction. However, let me warn you, if this scenario I'm sketching out does occur, it's very likely that the subsequent movement won't be favorable. And let me repeat this because it's important. At Crypto Insight, we prioritize a positive direction for the market. As I've explained, a lot would need to go against us for us to start prioritizing a bearish macro scenario. Before we get into Bitcoin, let me show you Solana, because as you know, it's one of the top performing cryptocurrencies. Its value has seen an incredible surge since September 2023. If we calculate from its most recent all-time high, we're talking about a staggering 1,590% increase, a truly mind-blowing performance. So what are institutions doing here? After driving a strong bullish move in price, they're now supporting it with a channel. This is something institutions often do. Understanding this, we can see that Solana is currently at a macro structural ceiling. What does this tell us? In my view, Solana is being very clear. It's already delivered a 1,500% return. It's at an all-time high, sitting at a structural ceiling. Perhaps exclusively in Solana's case, buying for the long term right now isn't the best idea. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the outcome for Bitcoin. Here we have Bitcoin's daily chart. And if we zoom in a little, let's revisit a key concept we discussed earlier. When we see a reaccumulation process like this, institutions often push among bullish move and then support that move with a bullish channel, which is exactly what we're seeing here. With that in mind, what we're saying and observing becomes pretty clear. As I have explained throughout this video, we're prioritizing a positive sentiment, not just for the crypto ecosystem in general, but also for the traditional market and MicroStrategy's performance. Now, let's address the big question: what would we need to see on Bitcoin's chart to stop being optimistic in the long term? Take a look. I've highlighted the structure of this yellow bullish channel. If, hypothetically, in the future, we were to see a black swan event, an aggressive breakdown of this structure, a breakdown with force, with intent, almost hostile, then we'd have a problem. This is something we believe doesn't need to happen because, as you know, we're optimistic. But if such a breakdown were to occur, it's likely the chart's trajectory wouldn't look very favorable moving forward. That being said, we don't expect this to happen. However, it's important to emphasize the key message here. We are generally optimistic about the crypto market and the traditional market. We're simply showing you what you'd need to watch for on the chart to change that outlook. It's that simple. If you enjoyed this advanced technical analysis, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so YouTube can alert you about future uploads. And of course, share this video with your friends and other trading and crypto communities. They'll definitely appreciate it. Good luck with your trades and see you next time.